Fort Myers taxpayers have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay a police officer who hasn't been on the job for 4 years.
Chief Derek Diggs suspended Officer Jason Jackson with pay back in 2017 amid a very secretive misconduct investigation and has refused to comment on it ever since. But in February, Wink News investigative reporter Lauren Sweeney broke the story that Jackson and 3 others are actually part of a federal drug, murder, and public corruption case. And tonight she joins us with more insight. Lauren.
Chris, Officer Jason Jackson's father told me enough is enough. He wants to restore his son's good name, and he believes the only reason his son is under investigation is because of rumors spread around the department. In fact, a detective was reprimanded in 2018 for things that she was saying about Jackson and 2 of the other officers that are part of this years-long misconduct mystery.
What you brought me for, Jason?
This police body camera footage from February 2017 was actually one of Officer Jason Jackson's last days on the job at the Fort Myers Police Department.
It's not that, I'm trying to be nice. It's just if I could, I would give it to you in a heartbeat.
Jason, he was like the cooler. If there was a problem in certain areas, they called Jason. He talked to people.
But Jackson's father, Henry, says his son's connection to the community was held against him.
It's terrible, terrible. You've been accused of doing something what you know you haven't done anything.
There was a whole basis of what was reported to me and why somebody felt that they were uneasy with Jason.
That's Detective Emily DeStephanis during an internal affairs investigation in 2017. She was heard telling co-workers that she'd seen Jackson riding around in a truck with someone she believed to be a drug dealer.
Well, what did she say specifically?
That he's hanging around with some of these guys outside of work.
But those co-workers, who are both black, told Internal Affairs they didn't like the implication.
Jason does football for the football league here locally for Dunbar. Even with some of those guys that are bad guys, even though they're out there doing the things that they're doing, they do take the heartbreaking with these little kids. So it could be that his kid is even on the team that Jackson may be affiliated with.
Jackson's father believes this misunderstanding of the Dunbar community led to the investigation into his son.
Somebody outside looking in, which wasn't raised in this Dunbar community, don't know what's going on.
But a year into his suspension, Henry Jackson says his son got a letter from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Tampa. It stated he's a target of a criminal investigation involving drugs, murder, and public corruption. He goes to Tampa, and they never call him in.
So I don't know what exactly happened on that particular date, but he came back home.
I've confirmed the 3 other officers placed on leave at the same time as Jackson are also targets in that federal investigation, but none have been indicted for any crimes.
Jason, he didn't do any drugs. He didn't kill anyone. So why we go through all this 4 years now almost? You paying a person for staying at home.
Henry Jackson feels the suspensions and investigation are all based on rumors.
I'm going to rejoice today that's showing that that they didn't have anything. They're going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I messed up 4 years of your life." No, sorry doesn't cut it.
Chief Derek Diggs has declined dozens of my requests for interviews on this topic. The department did tell me by email it still has no information to provide, and the U.S. Attorney's Office won't even confirm the federal investigation into the officers. To date, taxpayers have paid out around $220,000 to Officer Jackson while he's not on the job.
And Lauren, what about the other officers that were suspended at the same time as Jackson?
They've all retired. Some even took early retirement, and I'm told that none of them are actually able to find jobs while this hangs over them.